Good day. Ira Epstein with your Spider Stock ETF, and this ETF is for Thursday, and here we are now on the 3rd of March already, 2022. Now, I've got to tell you, I'm going to take off a week. I'm going out west, so you won't see me after today probably, up until we get to me coming back, which will be a week from Sunday. So I am going to take off 5 days. I really am going to try to not look at the markets as much as I can. Got to run the business, but I really need to clean out because it's the same thing day after day. Even when I went to Mexico, I worked every day. I need a few days of where I don't work, and that'll bring me a lot of refreshment in my brain. So let's talk about where we're at. You know, I've come to the conclusion, and I'm going to say it, the Ukrainian people are doing a fabulous job. The world is rallied around NATO. Good things have happened in that term. Terrible things are happening to the Ukraine. I mean, my heart goes out. You watch all these videos of homes being blown up, government centers, infrastructure, the people being killed, over 1,100,000 refugees. They stand really no chance against the military might of Russia, and NATO is doing nothing about it. It's that simple. I'm not here to say they should or shouldn't. Ukraine is not a member. As a person, a human being, I mean, my God, I feel like if I were president, I'd probably be in a world war. I wouldn't let that happen to a people. That's why I'm not a president. So you look at it and you got to ask yourself what's going to happen. And I think you got to look at the end result. In the end, there's going to be a Russian government inside of Ukraine that runs the country. People will come back that have run away. They'll live under that. Their life won't be what it is. Russia will say they'll give them a form of democracy, as they do maybe in Moscow and other places. But I think that's the end game you're looking at. I could be very wrong, and again, not the smartest guy out there, but that's what I think is going to happen. I take my report tonight, my full research report, and I dedicated it to Ukrainian grain so that my traders get an idea of just the importance of Ukraine in the world grain market. It's eye-opening. But the land isn't going away. It's probably not going to get planted because you can't go to the Russian soldier and say, can you move your tank? I got to bring in my tractor. Oh, that's another problem. I don't have any fuel for my tractor. Oh, another problem. How am I going to get it if I grow it somewhere when you've locked down everything? So I think you lose this year's spring and summer crops, so to speak. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. That's going to keep up the inflation in food because of the size of Ukrainian crops that we look at. And now add to it, we're not done. Does the world really want to buy anything from Russia? And they're the other monster in the room with wheat exports. Now, people are allowed to say, just as they do, okay, we're still going to buy Russian oil, gas, food. Okay, so basically you're saying, Russia, whatever you want to do is fine. We're still giving you the money. And we hate it. We're humans. We hate you. You can't have your athletes play. But this is what's going to happen. This is a crazy world. This is what we're dealing with. And I watch everybody talk about it, but you got to come to reality. There's no way the Ukrainian military can beat the Russian military. And the cities are being destroyed, and there will be guards, as we're seeing. There'll be the troops on the street, the tanks, and they'll do indiscriminate shooting until they don't have to. They will want the Ukrainian people to come back, rebuild the city, but under the Russian way of life. End of discussion. You don't have to agree with me, but I think that's what you're dealing with. Lockheed Martin doesn't stop on the weekly chart, still up that 9%. Slip back the past few days, you're starting to get a pause. That's the way to do it. But remember, you came out of this $400 level, you've gone up 10%. You got to consolidate it. So it's not a surprise. The pattern is higher lows, higher highs, until you take out 429.28, still a nice uptrend. The market's got lining up where you can even get more additional impetus from the long side when, and I think it's going to happen very soon, by the way, the 100-day average will get over the 200, then you'll have the 18-week and 18-day over the 100-day, 100 over the 200. Very bullish setup. So what's stopping the rally? Well, that's not hard to see. The Bollinger Band. You've also not gotten away from it. This is called a gorilla glue trade. The reason I name it that is it's the strongest glue most of us can buy in a store. Well, every day you're hitting that number and not backing away from it. So what it also does is it drives momentum up to a point where it gets first overbought and then magically sometimes it embeds. Embed means you get both numbers going sideways over the 80 level and prices can accelerate from there again. When the red line crosses back underneath the 80 level, the market typically goes into a correction mode. I'll say it ahead of time, probably back to the 18-day average of closes, wherever that is when that occurs. Apple, this is where I think the pros went short today that are traders. Traders. I think the investors bought down here. Remember I told you the Jekyll and Hyde? Okay, I'm Ira over here. My name backwards is Airy. As Airy, I'm an investor and I'm buying right through here. As Ira, I'm a trader. And now I'm going short again up there. Do you see the differences between it? Don't mix the two, please. When you go to XLF, lower highs, lower lows, still bearish. The financial services, you just rallied back to the 200-day moving average as resistance. The 18 crossed underneath the 100, so you still have bearishness here. And we have seen nothing in the curve yield to say that the banks should do so much better under this environment, okay? That's what I see. That's how I'm reading what's going on. Disney. Okay, Disney threw out another sell signal today. I said it was going to have trouble as it got here. We've been talking. I said it's going to fight a battle. And today with the outside day down, take out today's high tomorrow, Friday or Monday. I'm wrong. I wouldn't want to be short anymore. But barring that, you might be headed back to the 140, 150 level. Momentum is at the point where it's pointing down, the bias down, and the trend, lower highs, lower lows are in place. When we step over to XLI, no, this is a different world. This market had an outside day down, sort of like Disney. And what did I just say? If Disney takes out that high, you don't want to be short. Once you take that out, you've caught a group of people. And you could be targeting this upper area. It won't mean anything. To me, that's the trade, that I think that the market's caught people and it's trying to get up there. I'm wrong if you get back under the low of that day before you hit one of these targets. That simple. Semiconductors, big resistance point, downside today. Just like we just looked, another sell signal. I think that today's key is going to be not to take out today's high. If you don't, 192.17 can be the next target. In the home builders, you're stalling at the 18-day average of closes. That is so typical. When a market is way down, it is very, very common for the market to try to get back to a key moving average to go, okay, what are we going to do next? Well, the line in the sand is the red line, and that's what I think it's doing. And look what the market's suddenly doing, sort of spending time. Is the trend up? It certainly is. You got higher lows, higher highs, but the bias is down as you closed underneath the 18-day average, and momentum's up. The chart is a mess right here. Energy sector. There's a time where maybe you take your hands, you wash them. Today I watched a break in crude oil of $10 a barrel. I don't know if you realize how massive in size that is. It is not for the faint of heart. And in watching that, I'm just wondering that there's going to be a number. Today it was the 119.77 level in the Brent. There is a number where things are too high. At the end of the day, it's still oil. And it's not as though Russian oil is the whole oil of the earth, okay? There's plenty of other oil there. I'm just thinking we're getting to that point. In the gold market, still bullish, but not as bullish as I'd like to see. Now, with today's action, what you have is a resumption of higher lows, but lower highs. So you're doing this. It's one of these plays. It's not giving you a clean pattern to work from. GDX looks stronger than gold. If you look at GDX, I'd rather own this than the gold market. Both numbers not over 80. Both numbers over 80 on Wednesday. Both numbers both over 80 on Thursday. Let's see what tomorrow holds. If they embed, which means they do it again, then on the pullbacks, I can tell you what Ira wants to do. He's going to be telling his subscribers where to pull the trigger to get long in the market now. Okay, again, they've done it once. Copper, honing in. If you're watching the futures, I've said I thought $5 copper is possible. Look at how you're just moving up there. So that's still very much alive with it. Now, Fed Chair Powell. Quarter point hike a given, but he's open to a half point if certain things happen. He's not looking for them to happen. He is still of the opinion, and he's got hope, that the inflation is transitory. But in my interview today with Liz Klayman on Fox, Liz said it. She said, but he has been for a year in the transitory camp. Congratulations, Liz, you're right. Hope's eternal, right? That's what you do. And you have to admit, the events of the world have been such where things keep getting screwed up. As good as we're making inroads on COVID, and in America at least, it's really in our rear view mirror in most of the big cities and in the country, okay? That is a positive. Factories are going to hum, but we need the materials. The ports haven't been fixed, right? All those ships are still there. Show me the ship count. Nobody's talking about it. It's insane. So they can take your Budovich and bring him out there when he thinks things are going to be good. He's been very quiet. Why aren't the ports done? Come on, Pete. You're right in Indiana, my next door state. Get the job done. You want to go further with all this? Get the job done. You're not getting it done. Somebody's got to tell you you're not getting it done. Don't listen to your cronies there. Okay, get it done. Free the ports up. Stuff will flow. That's one way to beat inflation. We can't help that Russia attacked the Ukraine. Maybe we could have helped it. That's an inflationary scenario. Where are the grains, the wheat, the corn, the sunflower seed? Major world amounts of this. So we're talking number one in the world, I think it's sunflower oil, is Ukraine. Then you're like number 9 in the wheat market and so on. These are big export numbers, folks. You're not getting any of that product. That's gone this year, okay? It's all about war. The ports aren't going to open. It's not going to end tomorrow that Zelensky's going over and saying to Putin, yes, we're going to turn everything over to you, stop the bombing, and that's it. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe it's not. That's not my job. Barring that occurring, this thing doesn't slow down, and the destruction keeps going. So it's now Ukrainians destroying their way so that they take out a bridge or whatever to hurt the Russian movement, right? Or plant bombs. But all this destroys Ukraine. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying all of this destroys Ukraine. That's the sad part. UUP just keeps running to the upside over the band. You know, I teach traders you never buy it. You know, the dollar we know is strong. If you get my futures, you see it. And the flip-flop's true in the euro. Okay, super weak. But I cover this for you. At 9 each morning, approximately, I start recording and telling you the news of the day because most of the economic news happens in the U.S. between 6:30 in the morning and 9 Central Time. Then I'm going to cover a whole slew of different markets. These are going to rotate. It'll be 40-plus charts on the ETFs and, of course, on different stocks. So I don't even list them all that we're doing here, but I cover individual stocks left and right. I ask you to tell me which ones you want me to cover, and I throw them in there on a regular basis. So you get the reviews there. Each Saturday, what are you going to get? The weekly charts, the big picture. This is where you come in. It's not about, you close your eye, you put your stop there. You're not going day to day with all the craziness. For the trader, I'm there for him because I'm crazy. And we're looking at it, what are the opportunities in and out on a day-to-day basis. Not day trading, in and out trading, swing trading. That's really what that's all about. Fundamentals, chart action, news, all put together. Go to our website. Under the word research, it is fully explained there. Take advantage of it. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day. And again, I'm not going to see you for a week, so I'll see you a week from Monday. Not this Monday, a week from Monday. Take care.